One sunny morning, Pinocchio was wandering around Geppetto's workshop, curious as always. Among the piles of wood, tools, and little inventions, he found an old, dusty clock hidden under a cloth. Its golden gears shimmered in the sunlight, and the clock hands ticked ever so faintly. Wow, I've never seen this before, Pinocchio exclaimed, turning the clock over in his hands. It had strange symbols carved into it, and a little key was sticking out from the side. What happens if I turn it? Pinocchio thought, unable to resist his curiosity. He gave the key a big twist. Suddenly, the clock began to glow. Before Pinocchio could even say, "Jiminy Cricket," a swirling vortex opened up and poof. He was sucked inside. When the spinning stopped, Pinocchio landed with a soft thud on a bed of moss. He looked around and gasped. He was in a strange forest filled with enormous, glowing mushrooms, sparkling trees, and flowers that hummed soft tunes. Where am I? Pinocchio wondered aloud. Just then, a group of tiny figures appeared, marching toward him. As they got closer, Pinocchio realized they weren't tiny at all, they were giant. A group of towering pucellar dwarves stood before him, each one wearing colorful robes and carrying wooden staffs. "You there, wooden boy, how did you get here?" the tallest dwarf asked with a stern look. Pinocchio stammered, I don't know. I was playing with a clock, and now I'm here." The dwarves exchanged worried glances. "The clock? That's no ordinary clock. You must have activated the timekeeper's portal. Tell us, did you see a golden book when you arrived?" "A book? No, I didn't see anything like that," Pinocchio replied, scratching his wooden head. "The book of time is missing," another dwarf cried. "Without it, the balance of time is in danger." Pinocchio felt a pang of guilt. "I'll help you find the book," he said, his wooden nose twitching with determination. The dwarves nodded. "You must hurry, young one. The book is powerful, and if it falls into the wrong hands, time itself could unravel." The dwarves handed Pinocchio a glowing compass. "This will guide you," they explained. "Follow the needle, it will lead you to the book." Pinocchio set off, the compass glowing faintly in his hand. Along the way, he faced all sorts of strange obstacles. A mischievous river refused to let him cross until he solved a riddle, and a flock of talking birds offered directions in exchange for a song. Finally, the compass led Pinocchio to a dark cave at the edge of the forest. Inside, he found a shadowy figure hunched over the golden book. It was a sinister sorcerer named Malarus, who had stolen the book to rewrite history and make himself ruler of all time. "You're too late, little puppet," Malarus sneered, holding the book high. "With this, I can change the past, control the future, and bend time to my will." Pinocchio's wooden knees wobbled, but he clenched his fists. "You can't do that. Time belongs to everyone, not just you." Pinocchio knew he couldn't fight Malarus with strength, so he decided to use his wits. He remembered something one of the dwarves had said: "The book's magic reflects its holder's true intentions." "Go ahead, Malarus," Pinocchio said, stepping forward. "Use the book. Prove you're as powerful as you say." Malarus laughed and opened the book, but instead of granting his wishes, the book glowed bright red and zapped him with a bolt of magic. The sorcerer screamed and vanished into a puff of smoke. Pinocchio picked up the book, which now shimmered with golden light. The compass in his hand began to spin wildly, and the forest seemed to hum with approval. "Time to take this back," Pinocchio said, smiling. The compass led him back to the dwarves, who cheered when they saw the book. "You've done it!" they exclaimed. "You saved the timeline." One of the dwarves gently touched the book, and a portal opened, showing Pinocchio's home. "It's time for you to go back," they said. "Thank you for your bravery, little wooden boy." Pinocchio stepped through the portal and landed back in Geppetto's workshop, the clock still ticking faintly on the table. Geppetto rushed in, looking worried. "Pinocchio, where have you been?" Pinocchio grinned. Oh, just on a little adventure through time. As he told Geppetto the story, the old man chuckled. You're always finding trouble, aren't you, my boy? Pinocchio nodded, smiling, but deep down he felt proud of himself. He had proven that even a little wooden puppet could make a big difference. And from that day on, he never looked at an old clock the same way again.